People always talk about nighttime like it's peaceful, and sometimes it is. But I think nighttime also feels different because it's the only part of the day where the world finally becomes quiet enough for you to hear yourself think. During the day, there's always noise, notifications, videos, messages, people talking, people expecting things from you. Even if you're alone, it still feels loud somehow. But nighttime is different, especially really late at night. Like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. That's when everything slows down, and suddenly all the thoughts you ignored during the day kind of catch up to you. I think that's why so many people stay awake later than they should. Not because they aren't tired, but because nighttime feels like the only time that actually belongs to them. Nobody expects anything from you at 2 in the morning. You can just exist. And I think a lot of people are starving for that feeling now, especially now that life feels like this constant stream of information all the time. Wake up, check your phone, scroll, work, stress, repeat. It's exhausting. And then nighttime comes around and suddenly the world feels almost disconnected from all of that. Like you escaped it for a little while. That's why late night gaming feels so different too. I don't even think it's always about the game itself. I think it's the atmosphere around it, the dark room, the monitor glow, everyone else asleep, maybe rain outside, maybe headphones on. Everything feels quieter, more real somehow. Even multiplayer games feel different at night. People talk differently, maps feel emptier, music hits harder. There's this weird feeling I get sometimes playing games late at night where it almost feels like time stopped. And honestly, some of the most peaceful moments of my life were probably just me sitting alone at night playing a game while the rest of the world slept. Not because I was happy exactly, but because for a few hours my brain finally became still. I think nighttime strips away distractions. During the day, it's easier to avoid yourself. You can stay busy, keep moving, keep consuming things. But at night, there's nowhere to hide from your own thoughts. And depending on where you are mentally, that can either feel comforting or terrifying. Sometimes nighttime makes loneliness feel heavier. You realize how quiet your room is, how long it's been since someone texted you, how disconnected you feel from people. And I think that's why nighttime overthinking is so brutal. Because there's nothing drowning it out anymore. Just you and your thoughts. But weirdly enough, I also think nighttime can teach you a lot about yourself. There's something honest about it. No performance, no pretending, no distractions. Just you sitting there in silence. I think that's why creative people are usually awake at night too. Writers, artists, musicians. There's emotion in nighttime. It almost feels cinematic, like the world becomes softer and colder at the same time. And honestly, some nights feel like entire memories while they're happening. You ever have one of those nights where you barely even do anything, but years later you still remember exactly how it felt, the music you were listening to, the game you were playing, the weather outside. That feeling sticks with you. I think people underestimate how emotional environments can be. A dark room, a monitor glow, a quiet game menu. Sometimes those moments end up meaning more than actual major events in your life. And I think part of that is because nighttime feels personal. The daytime version of you is usually built for survival, responsibilities, socializing, stress, productivity. But nighttime feels closer to who you actually are underneath all of that. And maybe that sounds dramatic, but I think deep down, most people understand exactly what I mean. Because almost everybody has experienced that strange feeling of being awake late at night and suddenly feeling emotions way stronger than usual. Regret feels stronger. Nostalgia feels stronger. Loneliness feels stronger. But peace feels stronger too. Hope feels stronger too. Sometimes I'll be sitting there at like 2 a.m. thinking about my entire life. And then randomly, I'll look outside or hear music playing in the background, and for a second everything feels okay again. Not fixed, just quiet. And honestly, I think a lot of people need quiet now. Real quiet. Not scrolling, not background noise, not constant stimulation. Just silence. Because I think silence forces you to reconnect with yourself, even if it's uncomfortable. That's probably why so many people are afraid of being alone now. Because being alone means being face to face with your own mind. But nighttime kind of forces it. And maybe that's why I love it so much. Because nighttime feels honest. The world stops performing for a little while. And so do you.